experience here is that you can't really talk to them about it. They don't have an open mind and the ability to hear, where we're coming from at all
Right.
when we are feeling attacked. And I appreciate, someone, that has a platform to talk to them to ease that tension. So I mean, I can tell you're coming from a good place. So thank you. Hey, Rohan, go ahead.
Yeah. Look, just to add and piggyback on what Yirmiyahu has just said, I've been on this app for the last 2.5 years and faced anti-Semitism from numerous pockets within this app. Some of the worst had been from people who identify as Hebrew Israelites or Black Hebrew Israelites. In fact, the amount of hatred that was coming from that sect and also other areas of the Black American community was probably the worst. And it lasted for anywhere in about 6 to 8 weeks, where room after room after room, hatred towards Jews was being platformed non-stop, day in, day out. And I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. It has been the worst.
Hey,
And when,
Rohan,
especially when you find,
are you going to
and
speak on the rooms that with a lot of racist and anti-black people on the Jewish side was making anti-black rooms?
Let
Are
me
you going to
jump in
speak on
for a
that?
sec. Hey guys, sorry, I actually fell asleep earlier. Hey Prolific. So what we're not gonna do is what about, right? So I'm not gonna speak about, today is Tuesday and my left sock doesn't match my right sock because that's not really relevant. We're not here to put Jewish people on trial. We're not here to have a conversation about every aspect of Black Jewish
Are we
history,
here to
Jewish
put
history.
Are we here to
One
put
second,
Black
I'm still speaking.
Americans on trial?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm speaking. Sorry. So, we're. I know what you're trying to do, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to what about this room. We're not putting anyone on trial. We're just having a discussion in this room,
Right.
and we're not going to be talking about racism in the Jewish community, Jew hatred in the Black community. We're not going to go through every litany of everything. We're just having a discussion. But thanks for your contribution.
Okay, and
Right.
I
Right.
completely understand, and I actually agree to that
Good.
100%.
Let me
And
throw it back
But
to
Enloster
Rowan
hold,
then.
is not
Yeah.
hold
currently
on,
the
let
time
me.
to speak, but we will get to
thanks,
you when the time comes. So thanks for that.
So y'all
Um,
gonna
thanks.
y'all gonna cut me off? I
yeah.
thought it was like popcorn
Actually,
style.
you cut
No,
Rowan
no,
off. You actually cut
You
Rowan
actually
off.
it's
cut me
not
off.
Okay,
popcorn style, and I think Amari wanted to speak. So please go ahead.
No,
okay. You mind if I speak after Amari?
I was agreeing with the brother. I think it says the. I can't say his full name, but the one that was
Prolific.
speaking before,
Prolific.
Gabriel. And I totally agree, bro. Like a lot of the conversations that is happening is very negative from the Israelite community, and it's and there isn't really cohesive dialogue between two communities, and it's very bad. Right? It's definitely not a space that anyone wants to be in. It's a lot of finger pointing. It's a lot of negative conversation happening, and so somebody has to somewhat find a way to clean this up, right? And so that's kind of my job. I'm not obviously I'm an African American Orthodox Jewish man, right? And so my job is to try to help clarify and give somewhat some clarity to the Israelite community, so that way they can somewhat calm down the rhetoric or the finger pointing and all these things, so they can focus more on themselves and how to govern themselves and clean themselves up. Um, and so that's kind of the space that I've been in. I totally understand what Gabriel's saying, what Yirmiyahu's saying, and what the brother was saying. I can't see his full name because there is a lot
It's
of hatred.
Rohan. It's
Rohan,
Rohan.
Rohan,
Rohan.
Rohan, right? So I totally agree with that, and we got to find a way to somewhat clean that up, man, because it is bad, and it's at its worst right now, and that's why I felt like it was important for me to jump on this BHI, and I'm not associated with any Israelite groups at all, but I felt like as a teacher per se, it was imperative for me to somewhat try to teach and clarify and try to smooth things over the best way I could.
Mari, we appreciate that. And, if you could just, and we're not here to blame you for this, but if you could just quickly, take a look at the chat that is on the left-hand side of this room, just to get an idea of what we're dealing with on here on a consistent basis and on other platforms and in the real world, and the vitriol. And again, I'm not saying this is your fault at all, but I do think that perhaps being that you have a wider platform, it is somewhat of a responsibility to speak to that community and to urge them to tone down the hate and violence against the Jews.